Let's cross into Blues camp now. Angus Crichton is standing by. Thanks for joining us, mate. You've arrived in Brisbane. How's the reception been, and are you getting hammered or what up there?
Hey, how are you boys? Yeah, it's actually been all right. Caxton Street's actually pretty quiet at the minute. Hopefully it gets a bit noisier later on.
Mate, you're in enormous form. It's been quite the transitional from the start of the year. You play New South Wales Cup. You're now arguably the best back rower in the competition as we speak. It must feel good, and how did you get there?
I appreciate it, mate. I think just hard work. I think our team's obviously going very well at the minute, and we've got some really good staff and put us in good stead at the pre-season, and it helps when your team's winning, and we've got some great guys in our team, and a special team of the Roosters this year, and I've really been enjoying my footy.
Hey Angus, it's Gordon Tallis here. You guys were so dominant in game 2. How do you replicate your form in that game, and how does the team do it as well?
Yeah, obviously it was nice, but we can't rest on that. And I think, you know yourself, you've got to go and recreate it every single week, and it's no different here for us. I think we've got to go and start fresh and do it all again. And it was great that we got ourselves into the position that we're in now for game 3, but right now game 2 doesn't mean much to us.
Angus, Braith spoke about what you've come back from, and you played for the North Sydney or Roosters in New South Wales Cup earlier this year. It's been bigger than that. Your problems have been very well documented. How close were you? Rugby Union, there was an offer on the table. Other Sydney clubs approached you more recently. Were you ever close to going to rugby or leaving East?
Yeah, I was close, but I didn't want to go. That was always sort of the underlying thing. Is it was the sort of writing was on the wall there for a little bit for me, and I sort of had to have my mind made up for me at points, but the bounce of the ball sort of didn't go that way for one reason or another. And Buzz, I'm grateful that I'm still here because I love the club so much. I owe the club so much, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. So, I'm really happy that it worked out the way it has.
Mate, I'm dirty they didn't pick David Fifita. I would have loved to have seen you one-on-one with him, owing to the drama at the Roosters.
Thanks, Buzz.
Hey, Angus, Buzz mentioned the Queensland team there, and Dave. One bloke who is back in that team is Kalyn Ponga. What do you expect? How do you expect Kalyn to be used, and how have you prepared for him to come into this game?
Mate, I wouldn't be surprised if he popped up anywhere. They could pop him in the front row, who knows? I think he's a great player, and he's torn up in the middle of the field before in Origin, and him and Walsh are big threats, and we're prepared for them both to come on the field at the same time, and we're ready to go, mate.
Angus, a lot of the Queenslanders weren't happy with how physical you were. One of the guys sitting next to me wasn't happy about, actually 2 of the guys sitting next to me weren't happy about how physical you were, pushing off the ball. I mean, I loved it. Has there been much talk around that? Because you'd like to think Queensland are going to come harder, faster, stronger. So you've really got to go into this game with the same attitude, don't you?
Yeah, to be honest, mate, there hasn't been any talk about it, but we know what we've got to do, especially as a forward pack. We know that it's a personal battle for us up front there in the middle, and we've got our boys, and we've worked really hard this week to make sure that we're going to get it over their boys. And mate, Origin's about physicality, and it's about playing hard and getting it over your opposite number. So we haven't spoken about it, but it's definitely there in the front of our minds.
Hey Angus, it's Gordy. I know that the Caxton Hotel is right behind you. Are you guys staying at Gambaras, and are you guys going to walk down to the ground? Is that what's going to happen?
Mate, we're staying at the Sofitel.
Okay,
I don't know if I should be telling you guys this, actually.
Yeah. No, don't worry about it, mate. You won't get food poisoning.
But mate, we're at Caxton Street, and there's not that many Queensland fans out here at the minute, so hopefully they show up.
Tomorrow night and Wednesday night, mate, they'll be there, that's for sure.
Hey, Angus, lots been made of the New South Wales record at Suncorp Stadium. It hasn't been great over the years, but you've won there, I think, from memory. What's the key to winning at Suncorp for you guys?
I think just the start of the game, making sure that we start fast, and like we talked about, that physicality, and making sure that we're not taking a backward step. And we know it's going to be a tough battle, and it's not going to be easy. And it's about who can sort of hold the hand to fire the longest and not flinch. And yeah, it's going to be a tough battle, and yeah, we're ready for it.
Angus, really appreciate you joining us so close to the game again. Congratulations on your form for not only the Roosters but for New South Wales, and go and smash those Queenslanders on Wednesday.
Will do. Thanks, boys.
There he is, Angus Crichton. I mean, what a season he's had, what a turnaround it's been. It really has been incredible. There's been a lot of media around it. Buzz, you've covered it. Other media circles have covered it as well. You can't underestimate what he has been able to achieve this year.
Look, there were serious thoughts at the Roosters last year that while they wanted to stick solidly beside and behind Angus, that, you know, his career was in serious jeopardy. And that's when the Australian Rugby Union came in, Rugby Australia. They had an offer on the table. His manager, David Rawlings, was looking at it. It was pulled at the last minute when Rugby Australia got in that financial trouble. There were no other NRL options for Angus because he was in trouble with his mental health. And one of the great comeback stories in recent times, Angus Crichton.
He's the best back rower in the comp right now, and with the wealth of back rowers we have got Kikau that's like had his moments, and Oli Kawatu's been fantastic for feeders, you know, had a great month. But just out of all the great back rowers in our game, I reckon he's the one that's in the most form at the moment.
Said it. I mean, he's arguably the story of the season with what he's done and the way he's turned his life around. You talked about Australian rugby, Buzz. He was almost going to French rugby when the Australian rugby deal fell through. He was going to go to Montpellier and play in France. And then obviously everything happened at the Roosters and his form turned around. He got himself a nice new 2-year deal out of it. So it's well deserved because he's been outstanding.